Have you ever struggled with toggling classes in your Angular application? It can be a bit tricky, right? If that's you, then you're in the right place. Today, we're going to tackle how to give an active class on click in an ngFor loop. I totally understand how frustrating it can be when you want to highlight a selected item in a list, but your code just isn't cooperating. You're definitely not alone in this. Many developers face similar challenges. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. One user recently asked, "How can I toggle the active class when clicking on a list item in Angular?" They provided some code, but it seems like they need a little help to make it work. Sound familiar? Let's dive in and find a solution together. So what could be the issue here? In Angular, managing classes dynamically can be a bit complex, especially when using ngFor. We'll break it down step by step so you can understand how to implement this correctly. And don't go anywhere. I've got a simple solution at the end that will make your list items interactive and visually appealing. To toggle the active class on the list items, the user should first create a property in their component to track the currently active item. This can be done by defining a variable, such as active index. Next, the user needs to update the template to bind the click event on each list item. This will allow the user to set the active index when an item is clicked. Now, when the user clicks on a list item, the active index will be updated and the corresponding item will receive the active class. This creates a visual indication of which item is currently selected. Finally, the user can test the implementation by running their Angular application. They should see that clicking on different list items toggles the active class as expected. Fun fact, did you know that Angular was developed by Google? It's a powerful framework that makes building dynamic web applications a breeze. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution suggests using Angular's DAL index to manage the active class. This method allows you to target specific list items based on their index, making it easier to apply CSS styles dynamically. That wraps up that answer. Let's move on to another one. An alternative approach suggests using ngClass to manage the active class. The user clarifies that you can only add classes with ngClass, not selectors like active. They recommend using a condition to toggle the active class based on a variable. That's it for that answer. Let's take a look at another one. An alternative solution provided by another user involves creating a component called appCool. In this approach, you loop through your items using ngFor and pass the index to the appCool component. Inside the appCool component, you set up a click event that triggers a method to set the active index. The active class is then conditionally applied based on whether the current index matches the active index. Here's the pro tip I promised. Always keep your component logic clean and separate from your template. This will make your code easier to maintain and debug in the long run. And there you have it. You should now be able to toggle the active class on your list items with ease. Remember, clean code is happy code. If you found this helpful, hit the subscribe button for more tips, and don't miss our bonus content on Angular best practices.